Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to tell you about how I made my little pond, my mini pond, and I want to show you how you could do it, and it's super cheap depending on what kind of materials you have on hand, and it's very easy to do instead of going and spending, you know, 400, 500, 1,000 bucks on a pond. I want to show you how you can make one for yourself for cheap. Okay, so here is my pond. It's not that deep. It's probably, I don't know, 8 inches deep, something like that. So it's also not shallow where the water will stay in here. It's not going to just hurry up and evaporate, you know, like a typical bird bath would do, for instance. And that's why I'm able to use these fountains, because when something is too shallow, the water is going to evaporate and your fountain is going to fry. Yeah, so here is the pond. And I did all of these rocks I have found on my property in my yard, except for these, you know, I bought a couple bags at Home Depot. But all the big boulder type rocks were on my property. So if you don't have something like that, you would probably have to buy them. But you could also improvise and put plants around this. You could really kind of customize it to however you would want to do it and what's going to work for you. And again, the idea is that it's supposed to be affordable. It's an affordable water feature for your backyard. All right, so I'm going to show you the materials that I did use. It's actually just essentially one material. So let me show you. All right, so here is another example of this tub. So this is just a big food grade utility tub that I found at Home Depot or Lowe's, one of the two. And this tub was about 10 bucks, something like that. And of course this would be too giant, although you can dig a hole and put this whole sucker in. It's you know, it's a little bit big. So what I did, or I had my husband do, is I had my husband do an angle grinder, and he just cut this all off of the whole bottom. Again, you know, you want a good bit, but also not too deep, because if a bird gets in there and you don't have rocks on it, the bird could drown. You know, I've actually had that accidentally, I had a bucket filled with water and I did find a bird in it. So we don't want that. So after you cut that apart, you just dig your hole. Make sure you're not digging around electrical wires or pipes or, you know, anything crazy. You want to make sure you have that all laid out by, I guess, a surveyor would come and do it for you. I think they do it for free. Yeah, and you just insert it into the ground. Again, this is food grade. You want to make sure it's food grade because we don't want any chemicals leaching into the water, because there will be wildlife in here. And here's another quick thing that you could do so it's ultra economical. You're not wasting anything. I want to show you what I did with the other part of the bucket that I cut off. All right, so we're gonna go through into the garden. And so I turned the other part into a raised bed. You could probably grow actually a full-size tomato in here. You could grow cucumbers in here. You could essentially, because it's so large, you could grow anything that you would normally grow in another raised bed. I actually have some sunflowers in there. I was going to put the sunflowers over here, but then I remembered that they can sometimes stunt the plants that are next to them. So I gave them their own spot, their own raised bed pot thing, and you know, they're not gonna affect anything else. So again, there's how you can make a cool pond. We'll go check it out one more time. All right, so we're gonna walk over. Yeah, and there we go. So again, I do have actually on the very bottom I have some very old pavers that are kind of broken and busted. So I did put them on the bottom so that if any birds did go into one of the deeper sections, they're really not going to be going 8 inches down. So it's probably where they'll be going is probably about 4 to 6 inches, which in my experience is fine. So these fountains are solar fountains, which makes them really cool. They are completely, you know, no electricity required. You just use a solar panel that comes with the kit, and you could find these on Amazon. They are called just solar fountains. You'll find a million of them, and they're pretty inexpensive too. These ones I've had from last year, but they're like 15 bucks each. So you know, super affordable. So all together, again, you're looking at the bare minimum. You could do this all for about, what is that, 25 bucks, 30 bucks. And then you could put plants around it. You could do whatever you want. And I just think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. I've always wanted something like this, but I really am not in a situation to spend 300-400 bucks. So there you go, folks. I hope you make one yourself. I hope you love it, and I hope you bring all the birds and other wildlife in here to check it out. All right, peace out, guys. Okay, these things are called mosquito dunks. I tore the top off, but it's right on the bottom there. So essentially they're going to take any standing water and make it so mosquitoes cannot reproduce in there. So it kills the larvae. This is completely safe for frogs. If you have frogs, it's completely safe for birds to drink. It's completely safe for everything, but it will make sure you're not having a little breeding pond for mosquitoes, which who wants that? Not me. We have enough of them. So this is absolutely important. This wasn't very expensive. I want to say it was like 5 bucks. And for the little pond that I have back there, you use about a quarter one of these. So it lasts really long. Again, I bought this last year. So I'm, you know, probably safe for this year, but I definitely recommend it. All right, guys, I hope you build a pond. Peace out.